What's up and welcome to Champions of Lore, a show about all the kick-ass stories behind some of Idle Champions' coolest campaigns and characters. Every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on twitch.tv/CNE Games or later on your favorite podcast service. Well, Lore and Urban and B. Dave Walters talk about all the Idle Champions lore you need to know about. And if you're here with us live in the chat, you can leave a question that I, Treavor Bettis, will ask them later in the show. And we're going to be talking about monks today. But before we get to that, you two tell people who you are. And I've screwed that up at the end, so I'm just going to go over here. All right, bye.
We'll see you later, Trevor.
Yep. You hang out. You're awesome. Hi, I'm Lauren Irvin. I am once again not Erin M. Evans, who is awesome and amazing and is out on assignment. You can go find her doing awesome author things. So I'm filling in for her again today. You can find me on Twitter as OboLauren, and I am just happy to be here with these two awesome people again.
It is I, non-ironically, TV's B. Dave Walters. If you're coming to Gen Con and you see me, say what's up. Tomorrow at 1 p.m., we're doing the Black Dice Society live game in a room. That's important. But you can figure it out. Follow me on the Tweetagrams at B. Dave Walters. Here today to talk about something near and dear to my heart, though.
Punchy boys.
Also, you did not say who you are, Treavor.
I said Treavor Bettis.
Well,
I think I did.
Yeah, but you were like, the two of them are going to talk about important stuff. And I say, no, we collectively, the royal we, comrade, we talk about the...
I'm here for you. I'm totally here for you. Just because you blitz through it in like 10 seconds at the beginning while saying 5 other things really, really fast doesn't mean that it's not important.
No, it's fair. Well, hello, I'm Treavor Bettis. I'll also be talking about monks today. So, friends, where do we want to start with monks? Actually, you know what? I'm going to start with it a little differently. How do y'all feel about monks?
I love them.
I actually am one.
This is true. I have firsthand experience with his actual monkness.
Yeah,
Well, there you go.
I'm like, of all the D&D classes, like a joke about this, a joke about that. I'm like, no, I actually can do a not insignificant amount of the things.
Okay. Here's what I want, B. Dave. It does not have to be serious in any way. It doesn't have to relate to life in any way. But if you could take one of the ways of from the monks to title yourself, which one is it?
Again, I kind of already am, at least the Drunken Master. Even like reading the list, I'm like, yeah. But I mean, besides the fact that we've established that Bahamut is dumb. I
like Bahamut. They're great.
Fills me with a lot of complex emotions.
Me too.
But maybe the Ascendant Dragon.
Oh,
we'll get
the real Bunny Beast suggests, is there a way of the words monk?
See, do not make me make a bard monk, a swords bard monk with the words monk.
I think you just did. It's done.
Or would I be like a glamour bard?
Punch him with words.
You could be like a glamour bard shadow monk and just play like a super spy. Yo.
Meanwhile, I just want you to do the astral arms because you've already got reach. So to give you even more reach would just be epic.
True. Just Reed Richards up in this piece. I guess we should take a step back and be like, what even is a monk?
What is a monk?
They're non-specifically kung fu fighters in D&D. That's the simplest way. They largely fight either empty-handed or with a very short list of monk weapons, like things like quarterstaffs show up a lot. I think they can use daggers, but it is mostly a hand-to-hand brawler. In D&D,
hand to hand, foot to foot, foot to face.
Previous editions of our beloved game were not always, shall we say, culturally sensitive.
True.
So while we've got monks and samurai and ninjas and things are still in here, they've been like extracted of like most of the problematic stuff. But then you're like, if you pull out absolutely everything, is it that thing anymore? So then they put some things back. I think it struck a pretty good balance. But if you want to have Jackie Chan in D&D, the monk is the class for you.
I also love monks, and this might be a controversial opinion, but if you like playing support, but you want to be a fighter, you play a monk.
Yeah.
Because you are not going to be the person who goes in and does 50 points of damage and smites and kills things. You're going to get to hit a lot. Yeah, that's freely. You're going to get to hit a lot.
I work really hard at it, though, but okay, fine.
I mean, everybody looks up to Freely and how hard he can hit. But Monks...
Yeah, because he's very, very tall.
I am very tall for a heavy... Oh, man, Arkira, I've missed you. Oh,
missed you too. I know. You've been off fighting in Baloth's pits, though. So at least you've been having fun.
I mean, well, fun, but yeah, okay.
Well, you're still here, so I'm happy.
Again, I'm going to see that guy in a couple of days, and I got some choice words for him. Because, yes, as an aside, I will be playing at the Rivals of Waterdeep live game, and Mark Meir will be there as Baloth, so Freely really is going to see Baloth in a couple of days.
Yep.
And has some choice words for him.
I am excited.
Sorry.
I wonder, is that going to be recorded in any way and broadcast? Because I do want to see that.
Yeah, all of the so both Black Dice Society and the Rivals game are both going to go up on the Gen Con twitch.tv/ I think it's Gen Con TV. I think let me say this in English. The official Gen Con Twitch, which I believe is / Gen Con TV. It's going to be, I know Black Dice Society is going to be hosted on the WotC channel. I think Rivals is. I'm not sure because, quite frankly, I arranged it for Black Dice Society. I didn't arrange it for Rivals. So maybe, probably. But yeah, you'll be able to see it and there'll be a VOD afterwards too.
I did confirm it is / Gen Con TV.
Awesome. And if you have been watching Rivals of Waterdeep and playing playing any of the Rivals of Waterdeep in Idle Champions, then you've probably been playing with Dahani.
I love Dahani.
Who is my favorite murder burb.
She's a murder burb.
Yep.
I had the pleasure of Dahani being in Idle Champions Presents.
Yeah.
Where I got to help her, give her opportunities to ply her murder burbness to a variety of foes.
Dahani snuck into Court of the Raven Queen. I didn't get a chance to say it, but because she forgot for most of the game, but the feathers that Orkira is wearing, the really, really long ones, Dahani donated those. Officially, Latia and I talked about that. So yes, murder burb.
Canonically.
Nice. Canon.
I will just say one other thing about monks. Again, previous editions of our beloved game were not always necessarily balanced out. And monks were, shall we say, mechanically non-optimal in some previous iterations. So when you hear people talk about monks suck, that's from previous times. But monks are great now, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're super fun.
So let's get into monks. What is, we've talked about, that they punch things, kick things, and whatnot. But what is special about monks?
They fast.
They fast.
Super duper fast. All the fast. If you
what
would
makes
like to
them
go
fast?
Being monks.
Okay, I'm just gonna ask a question. What's up with the magic of ki?
Everybody's got to have a wellspring of power that lets them do awesome things. For fighters, they get moves. For barbarians, they have rage. For monks, they have ki, which is the wellspring of stuff that you can use to do all of the awesome things. And a lot of that is the support stuff that I was talking about earlier. Especially, most people know about monks as being the stunning strike people because that's...
And flurry of blows.
And flurry of blows.
Yep.
But the best thing about flurry of blows is being able to hit something 5 times in a row and every single time be like, and I need a Constitution saving throw. And I need another one.
It is always satisfying when you say that to the DM. When you go, I need a Constitution saving throw.
It's more satisfying when they fail, and then you actually stun something. So that is, I think a lot of people, when they've encountered a monk in play, that seems to be because everybody gets it, no matter what your subclass is, and it is one of those things that it happens, and it's epic when it happens, but it can take a while for it to happen because the DC isn't always that high. But yes, ki is the thing that you draw from in order to do the extra awesome things that you do. I think it comes back on a short rest now. I've forgotten.
I think so.
Good question.
Yes, when you spend a key point, is unavailable until you finish a short or a long rest. So
that's awesome.
Monks, warlocks, and druids are the 3 who are just like, I'm gonna go sit over here for an hour. Thank you.
Yeah.
Fighters too, I think. Fighters some things, but not others.
Yeah.
Some things come on a short,
depends on the
some on a long
subclass.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that is. That is good that that is a short rest because I saw Banana Mobster put in the chat is like they don't get enough key points in my opinion, and I do kind of agree with him. I do think there could be a little more.
I think it's gotten better, and it kind of depends on the game that you're in, because once again, if you're playing multiple fights in a day and you're not getting a chance to short rest in between, oh yeah, you can get tired super quick. But if you're getting that chance, and especially some of the subclasses, like we'll get to my favorite in a moment, but some of them you kind of throw a bunch of key points out right at the beginning to do a bunch of things or activate a bunch of things, and then you're good for the whole fight. So monks really do depend with a long day on multiple fights on getting that short rest.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this isn't necessarily mechanically advantageous in and of itself, but if you had something extra spicy like an Eldritch Knight monk build, you could cast a spell and then action surge and attack and then flurry of blows and do all of this in a single round. Especially if you get something like really dope going, like the Gloves of Soul Catching, which my homie Daniel Kwan created, and just put those on a monk, so you're stacking up that 2d10 every time you hit them. Get you there quick.
Lord.
Also be an Aarakocra so that you can just go blindingly fast.
Tabaxis too.
Tabaxis in one round can go faster than Aarakocra, but if you want the longer term going fast.
I think Harengon are in there too.
Yeah, they might. I haven't built a Harengon monk, but now I want to super
bad.
bad.
I've never messed with Harengons, but my favorite memory of them is when the UA came out for it, and Dylan just messaged me going, "I made a Harengon that can jump 300 feet," and that became Yorvin.
And now I want to see a Harengon monk that just kicks people. That is just kicking people.
Just Usagi Yojimbo here.
Yeah.
Also, monks get their extra attack. I think they get it the fastest because they get it at level 5. I don't think anybody else gets it. Everybody else gets it at 6. I think
Fighter gets it at 5.
Also,
but do they get it at 5? All right.
Yeah.
And you have a higher unarmed strike damage, so it's like you can never be disarmed unless you get Dooku'd, I suppose. And also, there's a lot of advantages to fighting unarmored. So there's also some pretty cool barbarian monk builds you can put together. Y'all see how my mind works, man.
I just can't believe you verbed Dooku.
And you knew what I meant.
We all got it.
I knew exactly what you meant. Yeah, it was so good.
Did everybody know? Yeah.
Monks also at 7th level get evasion, which is so nice, especially when you're going to be that monk who's going to be in the big bad's face. And you're not necessarily going to be the person who is taking down the creature, but you're just going to stand there and never get hit. It's amazing. I have done that to dragons before where I've just stood in front of their muzzle. They can't hit me with their attacks. They haven't been able to hit me with their fire breath. And I'm basically annoying, but I'm keeping them occupied while everybody else is doing big damage. So yeah, evasion is beautiful.
That's awesome.
It's simple weapons and short swords. You can be a short sword monk, although past a certain level, you'll do more damage with your bare hands. But it at least opens up the option for like magic weapons and whatnot. Now I do know you, Laura, also played a monk that was particularly near and dear to your heart.
Oh, yeah, Idovan? Are we going to talk about Idovan now?
Yeah, let's go for it.
You know, if not now, well, you know what? I'll leave it up to you. Do you want to talk about him now, or do you want to talk about him when we get to the relevant subclass?
Let's wait for the relevant subclass, because there's a couple of other things that all monks get that is worth talking about, because we're getting to some of the higher level stuff where monks... We talk often about how when druids get to level 20, they essentially become immortal. Monks get to do the same thing super fast. So not only... are you actually super fast and you can dodge things. At 10th level, you get Purity of Body, which means you're immune to disease and poison. At 13th level, you can just talk and speak and understand everybody. You understand all spoken languages, and any creature that understands a language can understand what you say, so you can speak to everybody. At 14th level, you are proficient in all saving throws. And if you fail, you can throw a key point at it and try again. And then Timeless Body comes along at 15th level. You suffer none of the fragility of old age, and you can't be aged magically. You can still die of old age, however. In addition, you no longer need food and water.
I will say, dear friends, Couple of things. One, unarmored defense. You get to add your wisdom modifier to your AC, which is great, especially if you're playing something like a druid monk. I will say in past iterations of the game, it is possible to flurry of blows while you're wild shaping. Discuss that with your DM because they may or may not let it fly, but by the letter of the law, it is applicable. So you can have a Kung Fu bear.
Kung Fu panda.
Maybe
you can
that bear
have
would
Kung
be a
Fu
panda.
panda.
You see where I was going with this?
Yeah.
You see where I was going with this?
And you get a heron guy, you get a bunny in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Mm-hmm.
Get a yuan-ti.
Yeah. You could make you could have the Furious Five 100%. Mm-hmm. You can make it happen.
Yeah, monks are fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're kind of an all-purpose adapter to whatever you want to do.
Absolutely. And some of the new stuff that they get is also from Tasha's that comes up, I think. Yeah. You get to make monk weapons. Let's see, dedicated weapon. Whenever you finish a short or long rest, you can touch one weapon, focus your key on it, and then count that weapon as a monk weapon until you use this feature again. So if you've got an idea of the monk you want to play, but it's technically the weapon you want is not considered a monk weapon, you can fix that.
Love it.
You can just make it happen.
You make Darth Maul.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the unarmed movement at 18th level, you get a speed bonus of 30 feet when you're not wearing armor or wielding a shield. So you just move 60 feet. Just, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, more than that, because you got unarmored movement earlier with another 25 feet.
Yeah. Then you get things like Step of the Wind and all that stuff. It's like, it's just like you're not gonna outmove the monk.
No.
My favorite thing, I think, is 20th level perfect self. If you would roll initiative and have no key points remaining, you regain 4 key points.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
You're like, I'm always ready. Mm-hmm.
I love it. Okay, let's move over to the types of subclasses, which is not quite in alphabetical order because D&D Beyond apparently decided that the was going to start things and not the actual name. But we're going to go in D&D Beyond order. So the first one they got on there is the Way of Mercy Monk, which I have played. I actually remembered while we were talking. I have played a Way of Mercy Monk, and it was cool because essentially I just got to punch my friends and heal them and then punch bad things and make them hurt more. It was great.
Get to slap people back to life. That's true.
Yeah, if you ever wanted that movie moment and where you slap someone and they wake back up, now you actually can do that.
The thing that I did though, because like the way it works is one hand is for wounding and one hand is for healing, and I played this in a one shot that Garwar ran. Hey Garwar, I actually got the okay to do this. My magic item for that was 2 magic tattoos, and so I put a tattoo of inflict wounds on the wounding hand and a tattoo of cure wounds on the healing hand. So I had even extra healing and damage to do, and it was so badass.
Yeah.
Well, it's that actually is an interesting thing. There's a there is a martial tradition of the right hand of mercy and the left hand of severity. That's why in several parts of the world, when you go to the restroom, you only wipe with the left hand. That is true. That's the thing. I'm not making that up.
I did not know this.
Yep, it's the left hand of severity.
The more you know. Dun, 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 dun.
Now, Trevor, when you played the Way of Mercy, did you? What level were you? Did you get one of the higher levels, or were you a lower level?
Oh, that's a good question. I think we were level 3 or 5.
Okay, because the reason I ask is I love all of the healing that comes with it, but that 17th level, you just get to bring some people back to life is really interesting, and I like it, especially if you're gonna be
you're level 8.
Yeah, so I'm picturing this monk is gonna be everybody wants to be a fighter person in a party, and someone's like, well, I want to actually do some healing, and then at 17th level you can just also bring people back to life. You can slap them back to life. Not
so
exactly.
Good. So good.
You're like, live, damn it.
It's actually faster to do it as a monk than it is to do it as a cleric, because
I love that.
After the first minute, as a cleric or as a druid or whoever, you have to use Raise Dead, which takes an hour, but Hand of Ultimate Mercy is, as an action, you touch the corpse of a creature that died within the past 24 hours, you expend key points, and they just come back to life. So you can actually bring people back faster as a monk.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That is wild. After that, we have the Way of Shadow Monk. What is up with the Way of Shadow Monk?
So that's when you're trying to build a sneaky sneak, when you're trying to do like the ninja-esque character concept, is the Shadow Monk.
I believe Rosie Beestinger is a Way of Shadow. I might be wrong, but I think she is.
That's right.
And she's
I don't
not.
have the name open.
Rosie Beestinger.
It's been a little while since I've looked, but I thought she had some Shadow Monk abilities. But yes, it is a lot of jumping in and out of shadows.
Monk, Way of Shadows.
Hey, there we go. She is not necessarily she's not your grandma's grandma, but she is also...
I'm about to say, that is not what I remember about Rosie Beestinger, but okay.
Well, and I love the way that she played it, because she played outwardly the cliche grandmotherly archetype, and then all of a sudden could just punch you silly, and then would disappear into shadows and stuff. So you can be sneaky, and then also deceptive sneaky.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's true. Super cool.
Then,
again, if you're making the Ninja Turtles, they're Way of Shadow Monks, just for the record there. I mean, you could make the argument that some of them are samurai fighter subclasses, but I would make all four of them Shadow Monks.
Yeah.
Make them Turtle Shadow Monks.
I agree with this.
Welcome.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially turtles, because they can't wear armor, so they already have an unarmored bonus. So their unarmored bonus just keeps going up and up and up.
That's pretty cool.
It's my gift to you. See, that's when you make your four turtles are Way of Shadow Monks, and their main bad guy is a Goliath samurai fighter.
There you go. Done.
I love it.
Done.
I love it. Then after that, we have Way of the Ascendant Dragon.
Dun, dun, dun.
The dragon god Bahamut. Yes.
If you're into that.
If you're into that.
Whatever. Bahamut, apparently, allegedly, whatever. Spent some time on the prime material plane as a wandering monk. He does that. Again, whatever. Bahamut's
It's true.
dumb.
I have it as a meta card.
And, I mean, he may or may not be rolling around with like a bunch of little birds floating around him right now. I don't know. Whoever, whatever. That guy's dumb. But he founded.
I agree.
He founded a school of not school, path, a monk path called the Ascendant Dragon, where you can help cultivate some of these things about yourself.
Sorry, I just looked at the chat, the Lurking Writer suggestion for the 4 turtle Way of Shadow Monks, that eventually they face off against a Sibriax.
Yeah. Very good.
God, that'd be so good. Oh, dang it.
But, okay, but wait now. Hold on. Wait, hang on. It's a Sibriax, but it has a golem construct.
Yeah,
it rides around in the golem that it's in here, and it just has like an adamantine golem.
The walking statue of nightmares.
Exactly.
On Sketching Hour, not last week, but the week before, the prompt for Sketching Hour was Sibriax riding a stork. Because
I sent it to B-Dave with zero context.
I was like, I now have several additional questions.
As
soon as they popped up, I immediately messaged them to B-Dave.
As well you should. And so now what I'm picturing is like a baby Sibriax as Krang riding in the Goliath body. I'm here for it.
Okay, I gotta change the subject, otherwise we're gonna be on that all episode.
No, wait, no, stop, don't fight it. Just let it happen. Just let it happen.
So what's cool about the Ascendant Dragon monk?
Hey, do you like dragons? Do you want to be a dragon?
Do
you want to punch people as a dragon?
Breath?
And wings. Don't they get wings?
Yeah, they get wings. They get dragon breath. They can infuse their punches and kicks with dragon. Yeah, if you just want a dragon-themed martial arts person,
that's pretty cool.
Nunchaku are a weapon. If you want to live your Bruce Lee fantasy, there you go. You got the Way of the Ascendant Dragon.
That'd be cool.
Again, it may not be mechanically optimal, but there is a way where you could do a Way of Ascendant Dragon Draconic Blood Sorcerer and just like really lean into it. You know what I mean? Especially, I would say you could play a Dragonborn, but I honestly wouldn't play a Dragonborn. I'd play
That's
like
too
a
on the
gnome.
nose.
Yeah, I'd play like a gnome.
Yeah.
That was an Ascendant Dragon Monk, Draconic Blood Sorcerer.
But I'd still give him like giant, massive, like normal sized dragon wings.
Oh yeah,
just
like
tiny little person, giant wings.
Just unwieldy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they have to like lean forward to like unfurl their wings to like take off. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
100%.
they're like one of those big moths that you see like slow motion videos of, and where they're taking off, and you think the whole time, they're gonna fall, and then they finally just start to soar. It's beautiful. I 100% agree. If you're gonna go way of the Ascendant Dragon, you don't go Kobold or Dragonborn, because it is too much on the nose. But there is something slightly appealing about picking a Dragonborn, and so having two different breath weapons. I kind of think that's fun. I know breath weapons aren't necessarily the best thing. They're a little bit better now, but there's my
They're way
4th
better
edition
now.
heart that remembers having a rebreather sorcerer looks at that and goes, "Oh, there's a little piece of that right there."
Yep.
True. Because fire resistance is incredibly common.
God, it's so true.
Mm-hmm.
Literally why I had to give a transmutation magic item to one of my players so he could go through Avernus. Way of Astral Self is after that.
It's a Dovan! Yay!
Tell us about Idovan.
Oh, I am the strongest and the best of the kobolds. The dragon that we were supposed to be like worshiping, the asshole, took care of him, and then I went out and learned how to punch people in the face. And so that's my kobold. That's Idovan. He's a tiny little kobold who's a way of the astral self, because you basically manifest an astral self. You get arms and a head and chest and all kinds of things. And the reason I went for it back in when it was still a UA, I got super excited about it because it gives you reach, and the idea of having a tiny little 2-foot tall kobold with the reach to hit a Goliath in the face made me happy. And then I got to play Idovan, and I got to do that, and that made me extra happy. And now Idovan is just my character that I pull out for a lot of one-shots when I need a character just real quick. I'm like, here you go, here's my monk, go.
I love it.
And the nice thing about the astral self, yes, a lot of the stuff is really, really good in combat, but some of the things that you get are actually really good in some role-playing scenarios too. Like you get, depending on what aspect you invoke, you can have advantage on wisdom and charisma checks. You can get basically dark vision that you can see in both magical and non-magical darkness. And word of the spirit, when you speak, you can direct your words to a creature of your choice you can see within 60 feet of you, making it so only that creature can hear you. Alternatively, you can amplify your voice so that all creatures within 600 feet can hear you. So you just, for a very short amount of time, get message and thaumaturgy. And when you're playing a very loud kobold, it's fun. It's super fun.
Big fan of thaumaturgy. Freely's gotten a lot of miles out of thaumaturgy over the years.
Yep. And the really awesome thing is your attacks with your astral self are force damage.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it gets good.
Again, not necessarily mechanically optimal, but Astral Monk, Echo Knight. Yo, dog,
Oh my God.
I heard you like fighting me. So here's
I
me
heard
and me.
you like fighting me.
You know what I mean?
I haven't looked into the Echo Knight in a while.
I
Do
got you a
think-
meat. Fight me while you're fighting me.
I had not thought of this, and now I'm excited. Okay, so would you have to activate your astral stuff before you made the second person, the Echo, or could your Echo also go astral? And now you got two giant astral selves. Like, I'm excited about this.
You know, okay, first of all, I just thought of this, so very well this may collapse under the tiniest bit of scrutiny, but from what I can see, I personally would say the main you prime has an astral you, and then the duplicate doesn't, but depending how it's written, you may get both, which would be obscene, and therefore I love it.
Yeah.
You prime.
You prime.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I haven't looked into the Echo Knight in a while, so I'd have to look at that. But I love that idea. That's super fun. and then you get advantage with yourself.
Jesus.
See, now I'm gonna have to go back and read the Echo to see exactly what it describes. This is a bonus action. You activate it, and it's just there for 10 minutes. So that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So.
And at 17th level for Astral Self, you basically just take 5 key points and activate the whole suite, arms, visage, body. And so this is one of those subclasses that I was talking about, and where when a fight starts, you don't necessarily need a lot of key points to get all of your stuff going. You got 5, there you go. You're set for basically the rest of the fight, even if you have nothing else left. And then on top of that, if you can stunning strike somebody, oh, so good.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I highly recommend, if you are playing a small character, if you are a gnome, if you are a kobold, if you are a halfling.
I made a dwarf. Aggie Farseer is a badass.
It is super fun.
Reading the Echo like at no point does it say the Echo is you. It's just another you. You know what I mean? Like I don't know that the astralness would carry over for anything beyond flavor.
Still
but you know
cool.
what? You should still do it.
You should still do it.
Still do it.
I will say, when this class came out on the UA, I immediately fell in love with it. I made a character for it. I've played her once. I think it is an amazing, freaking cool, like, get hype class. It is 100% the reason why in Borderlands 3 I played Amara, because she is essentially a Way of Astral Self monk, and I love her.
Absolutely.
Then
I might recommend at this point, because there's a lot more monks, and if this is anything like the last time we did stuff like this, we're going to run out of time.
That's true.
Do we want to skip ahead to the open hand just so we talk about your base monk, the one that everybody can get their hands on?
Yeah, sure. Why don't we do that?
Literally get their hands on. So Way of the Open Hand, who Kwai is my Aarakocra Way of the Open Hand monk, who... I miss my good feathered boy, is kind of the classic monk that people think of, and you basically just get extra monkey things. You can heal yourself a little bit. You can meditate and have an aura of peace. Quivering Palm is the fun thing. This is. I've just lost the movie. I was thinking of. It's definitely something right out of the movie.
Kill Bill, the 5-point palm exploding heart technique.
Thank you. It's that thing. I'm gonna hit you and walk away, and 2 seconds later you're gonna be like, and fall over.
I will just say, when you said extra monkey things, I was like, now you have to play a Hadozi, and then you have extra monkey things.
You can have extra monkey things.
Yeah. Again, yo dog, yo. I heard you like monkey things.
Oh, I really love this character we're building. Okay, so it's a monk Echo Knight, monkey person whose name I can't remember right now. That's
it's
I'm
a
down for this.
Hadozi. Yep.
Hadozi. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I love it. But yes, it is the monk that you get when you just get the basic set, and I like it because it's not as flashy as the other monks. I'm gonna ask.
Sorry,
what?
Sorry,
Yeah.
the chat said, I just read the thing first. It says, "I need a monkey monk now." Sent from Barefoot Monkey.
I mean, yeah.
You know what to do. Also, I what was that? Oh, was that me?
I don't know.
apologize.
No, it was a very loud car outside of my room. Sorry.
My machine that I usually am looking at here to maintain eye contact froze, and I'm afraid to reboot it because I don't want to break our call. So I'm looking at my monk stuff over here.
Okay.
So I'm looking over here, but I'm looking at you over here. Okay. Also, Barefoot Monkey, you know what to do.
Yeah. No, I love that. That is going to be super fun. But yeah, it's kind of your base monk. But what I love about it is that it really leans into that character.
That'd be a cool rapper name, Base Monk.
Base monk.
Hello, can you go?
That's my Way of the Open Hand glamour bard crossover or multi-class, in where after you beat up the bad people, you then restart your set and you just drop the base, and then and now you make everybody happy again.
God dang it! Evil and Berserk, a warforged in monkey form, Brass Monkey.
Monkey.
Yes, exactly.
It's one of my favorite episodes ever.
You can also yes, exactly. There's also Iron Monkey, which is a really great series of movies too. You got options. I'm just saying, you got options.
It's true. It's true.
So yeah, now I want to go through all of the new races that are coming out and make them monks and be like, all right, so you're an ooze.
Yep.
And you're an ooze monk who
you're
can just
Thrycreen, yeah.
Yeah.
Monk.
Thrycreen, and now you got extra arms, you got extra fists to flurry of blows with. You could flurry of blows and hit something and never hit something twice with the same fist.
Ooze Monk would be terrible. You just like drop on somebody and just like, boom, 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 and just, like slide away. Yeah.
Slide away.
Yeah, you're like Venom without all those pesky bones inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I should point out, just to make sure that we at least mention it in passing, is the Kinsey Monk, which is like the wandering swordsman, the wandering sword sentient build is the Kinsey. Like if you want to have like the one hit, one kill samurai type person, that's the one for you.
Okay, since we do have a little bit of time just before I want to switch over to chat and see what they've been up to, what is up with the Drunken Master Monk? I've never looked at this.
It's just that. If you've seen the Jackie Chan movies, which are highly recommended, just as an aside, Return of the Drunken Master is what Jackie Chan said is his favorite movie of all time that he's made. And it's great. It is just that. If you there is the Drunken Master from the movies, Shun, I think his name was, from Virtua Fighter. I'm pretty sure there's one in Tekken now. It's the person that basically looks like they're drunk and just accidentally beating the crap out of people.
Level 6, Tipsy Sway.
Yep.
That's amazing.
I told you. Yeah. It's great. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
Intoxicated Frenzy.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
It's super fun.
Oh, that's so neat.
And also, if you...
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, you say your thing.
I'm just going to point out real quick, one of the first things you get is you get proficiency in the performance skill. So for those of you who want to be a drunken monk but don't actually want to drink, that's how that happens. You're acting it.
Also, at level 3, anytime you flurry of blows, you automatically get to disengage and move an additional 10 feet. That's ridiculous.
Hey, would you like to be a swashbuckler but punch people?
Exactly. A punch buckler? Yep.
That's beautiful.
I hope we're giving you gold here with all these character concepts, you guys.
Yep.
Gold.
I think what this is telling me is that I need to build a monk at some point and play them in a game.
They're so fun. They get a lot of people just not even thinking about them because of the fact that they don't necessarily do a ton of damage in combat, because that's not always their role. And most of the stuff that they get, most of the subclass stuff, is geared towards combat. So a lot of people look at monks and they go, well, but if I want to do a lot of damage, I'm going to go for fighter and barbarian. If I want to do a lot of other, talky stuff, I'm going to go over here. But they're just super fun and versatile, and you do have to think of them as support characters. And if you have that kind of mentality especially when you're going into a fight, they're great fun.
Love it. All right, let's check in with chat and see what they've been up to. Remember, if you have any questions, chat, you can put in there, question, and then your question, and then our awesome mod. Who is it right now? It's Jordan. Jordan will grab those and put them into a little text doc. So let's see. First off, we got Lurking Writer question. What, in your opinion, is the armor restrictions for monks? Should they be penalized for wearing armor, i.e. is there a necessary limitation to prevent them from being Neo at the end of the Matrix?
I mean, they're not currently penalized for wearing it. They're rewarded for not wearing it, which isn't the same thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of things. I think it just kind of leans into the aesthetic of what they're trying to simulate. If you look at like the Wuxia stories, like those people just aren't wearing a lot of armor. And also it still makes like clerics and fighters special, that they can be like wrapped in heavy plate, like trudging forward while you're like parkour. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I wouldn't specifically say they're penalized. Yeah, it's just they get to do cooler stuff.
More betterer.
I do need to say that Rix Verde in the chat said Captain Jack Sparrow's, which is swashbuckler drunken monk.
He's not that.
I can see that. Yeah,
it's true.
Especially because you get that drunken flurry of blows at 3. He could very much be like level 3 monk, level 17 swashbuckler rogue. 1000%.
Or bard. I always pictured him as a bard, but maybe he's a swords bard, drunken monk.
I mean, heaven forbid a person have more than 2 classes, right?
That can't happen. You can't have more than 2.
He for sure has the lucky feat.
1000%
1000% has the lucky feat. Okay, the ye old dice goblin says, question, did anyone else misread the code as mayonnaise monk?
I gotta tell you, when I come up with these codes, because
Phoenix's like, I gotta go check this code now.
Listen, when I come up with these codes, I've been doing this for a while. Before this, I've had to do hashtags and everything. It is ingrained in me to look at them and be like, what are the bad words that can be made out of this? I did see the mayo, and I was like, well, that's not a bad word. That's just fun.
To make a mayo monk, you know what I mean?
Oh.
What's that that thing where Kira has?
The alchemy jug.
Exactly. And then it's mayo monk.
So, Kwai, my open hand Aarakocra monk, I was in a game, this was years and years and years ago, in where we were in Waterdeep and the walking statues turned on us. And I managed to make one of the walking statues fall over by using I was flying along and I used the alchemy jug with mayo and made it be slippery on its next step and was able to get out of the way in time because monks, super fast.
Love it.
Yep. Stop a walking statue with mayo.
How many people can say that?
The lurking writer says, question, what advice would each of you give for role-playing a monk as opposed to dealing with the game mechanics of the class?
Oh, it would depend on the class and kind of the character you're going for. I think just like any other class, you don't have to lean into the tropes of the class. You can go against them. You can grab some of them. The ones that specifically give you powers and where you can start to understand people, I would love to lean into some of those more, of like being that negotiator with people. Are you, maybe you're the person who comes along and is the diplomat's translator, and then also the person who defends the diplomat when you got to get out of there. So, I think it depends on the class you're looking at in the subclass.
Yeah, I would also say I think with a monk, your character concept is even more important, because to Lauren's previous point, that as a character, they're almost certainly never going to just be the world beater. Again, you might get like a neat item or the circumstances line up, but for the most part, you're not going to be dishing out triple-digit damage type thing. And so you've got to have something else that is going to keep it interesting. Otherwise, you fall into the trap of kind of being like, I flurry of blows again. That's part of the reason why I like spellcasters, because they use so many different things you can do that just, even something that can deal a bunch of damage, like a fighter or something, being like, I attack twice, I attack 3 times, I action surge, I attack 7 times. Past a certain point, that's not enough for me. You know what I mean? So it's got to be something that you're going to find interesting and fascinating. And I think with all those different subclasses and the richness of them in what they potentially represent, if you lean into it or go away from it, again, just like Lauren said, you can have a role you will enjoy playing more than just, I'm rolling this many dice.
Yeah. One of the pieces of advice I have is actually talking with your DM and about movement. One of the things that my sister-in-law and I both made these 2 characters for a game once, and movement was kind of their whole thing. Like, both of us took the mobile feat. She had based her character off of the Abyss Watchers from Dark Souls 3, who have a very stylized and sliding around with a great sword kind of movement to it. And so we talked with Spencer, who's running the game, and it was purely for flair and description, and that was it. Of just, we would describe our characters running into combat and doing something cool as they made the attack. It still was just, I move up 30 feet and I make an attack. but we described them doing cool stuff while they did it. And like, even with a monk, if it's just like doing a wall run where there's not a gap or anything like that, it's just doing a wall run and jumping off and kicking them in the face. Just something like that can get you more into the style concept that you have is a lot of fun.
Remember,
if your DM's cool with it.
Remember I said how the computer froze? So it's like it froze at 11:31, right? And then like we're talking, I'm like, man, we're way ahead of schedule if we're already at the questions. Because every time I've looked at it like 3 times, and it's been 11:31 every time. And I'm like, no, we're doing great. We're doing great.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like no point being like, wait a second.
Time has frozen.
We're time traveling.
Yes.
I maintain linear time is an illusion. I reject it. And all the other lies of the Jedi.
We will be talking about monks forever for the rest of our lives.
It is always 11:31 now. Welcome to forever.
I'll go get my blade singer sword. Y'all don't.
God, that thing just sounds so good.
It is so satisfying.
Oh, it's a good noise.
Tigress Dark says, question, my daughter wants to know where B-Dave got his shirt so she can have one, because, quote, rainbows are awesome and so is D&D, end quote. Yay for 6-year-olds.
This is the Lambert House shirt from last year, so you may not be able to get this exact one anymore. But D&D does I was gonna say they do a shirt with Lambert House every year, but this year wasn't for Lambert House. But that's what it is. It's the Lambert House charity shirt.
Yep.
Then this year's is the one Lauren has on.
Yep.
Which is for the Treavor project this year.
I think you can still order them. I'm not positive. I don't have a link handy, but if you search D&D Lambert House or Treavor Project, you might be able to find a link to it. So I suggest checking those places.
Yeah,
they are awesome shirts.
It's through the MTG shop. So if you also
Yes.
see Magic stuff there, because they put out the same shirts for Lambert House and or for the Treavor Project in Magic the Gathering styles. So it's a lot of fun.
Let's see. Hidden Crocus' question. Not really a question. Just want to say I appreciate you guys. Also, I watched this from my brand new apartment. Hey, congratulations!
Hey, muzzle tough on the apartment. Hey.
And they come back with another question that says, on both the concept and the mechanic of the class monk, Western monks had a history, at least some monasteries, to be very proficient in bladed weapon use. Is there a way in the current setup to mirror that, or would that be a fighter with a monk profession?
Yeah, again, monks can use short swords, and specifically the Kinsey monk is what you'd want.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. That's true. That is actually all the questions. But tell you what, I will give chat a few moments. If you got any more questions, go ahead and pop them in there. Question, then your thing. But yeah, any last thoughts on monks from the two of you?
Since we've got a few more minutes, we should talk about Way of the Long Death. Since we talked about Way of
I
Mercy.
literally was on the screen over here. Yep.
Hey,
okay, what's up with Way of the Long Death?
Dave, if you want to take it away, go for it.
No, please, after you.
All right, so you know how before we were hitting people and healing them?
Mm-hmm.
And then you could be a monk and hit people and hurt people. How would you like to hit people and just devour their souls?
Exactly.
What?
Just suck the life out of them. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that it's an evil subclass, but it definitely is a dark. Like, if you think of monks as flipping and flying and happy and, or drunken masters and things, and then this is the dark monk. So Touch of Death, starting when you choose this tradition at 3rd level, your study of death allows you to extract vitality from another creature as it nears its demise. When you reduce a creature within 5 feet of you to 0 hit points, you gain temporary hit points equal to your wisdom modifier plus your monk level. So, hey, you kill someone and you're like, I feel a little better.
Mm-hmm. I always do.
Hour of Reaping is you can unsettle the people near you. You can make them frightened. Mastery of Death is when you're reduced to 0 hit points. You can expend a key point and have 1 hit point instead.
Jeez.
No action required, which is unnecessary thing. So yeah.
Like the big bad evil just does like a massive blow to you that is like taking you down. You're just like, try again.
Just sit up like the Undertaker. Best if you played a half orc that bounces back anyway. Yeah. Also, remember that thing I mentioned earlier about doing a monk cleric? Do like a grave cleric, monk of long death.
Ooh.
That sounds pretty nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then your 17th level ability, Touch of the Long Death, which I love that title. Your touch can channel the energy of death into a creature. As an action, you touch one creature within 5 feet of you, and you can expend a bunch of key points. The target must make a Constitution saving throw, and it takes 2d10 necrotic damage per key point spent on a failed save and half as much on a successful. So you can make 20 d10 necrotic damage happen.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So remember what we were saying about monks can't do triple digit damage? Sometimes they can.
Every once in a while, they can be just like you in specific.
Yep.
Thank you.
You are coming with me. Yep. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay, we got 2 questions here that I think is a good one to round out. Banana Beast, the real Banana Beast has a question. How would you build a human monk that wields 3 katanas at the same time?
Like a juggler, you got one on your foot, and then
No, see, I would just go flavor. It's they're dual wielding 2 katanas, and then they got a 3rd katana in their mouth, and it doesn't do anything.
It's like a Rob Liefeld character. I don't know if you saw this season's Demon Slayer. No spoilers, but you can have a sword in your mouth and still fight. So.
I wonder if you
Banana Beast, yeah.
This isn't exactly what they're talking about, but I'm thinking of The Witcher, how he's got 2 swords on his back, one for specific. I think one's for humans and one's for monsters. Yep. So maybe you've got 3, and the one that you grab is specific. And it could be a flavor thing, or it could be something that actually works this way. But maybe depending on which one you grab is for who you are fighting.
Mm-hmm, true.
I mean, theoretically, and this would be a bit of a reach, you'd have to get your DM to agree, but if you have something like a Githyanki that can cast an invisible mage hand by default, I just always have the mage hand carrying the 3rd sword. You know what I mean? Just be like rotating, just like toss it to it, and have it toss me one, and I'm like, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And then of course
it
you can always
go a flavor thing.
You can always go the X23 way. Yeah, it's not a katana, but she's got a blade in her foot, so punch you with the fists and then kick you with the thing.
But it sounds like what you really want is to be a Thrycreen, and I'm here for it.
Trovis76 says,
Mighty Trovis.
Mighty Trovis. Yes.
You got your mask nearby?
Apparently graduated in 76 or was born in 76.
Actually, it is the mask of Mighty Trovis.
There we go.
He's always lurking nearby, ever vigilant.
We gotta check those snowdrifts. Question. So there was a time that monks were overpowered but one-dimensional. With all the subclasses and races, which combo do you think would be OP, and which combo would all 3 of you love to play the most?
Ooh.
I mean, again, anything that's potentially dropping 20 D10 has the top OP, so I'm gonna go ahead and say Way of the Long Death.
Yeah, I mean,
but especially sorry, not to interrupt.
No, go for it.
With that grave cleric, you'd need everything to line up properly, but you could mark them with the path to the grave before you did this, and then it would be 40 D10. So I'm gonna say grave cleric, Way of the Long Death monk.
So here's the thing. I know when people think about overpowered, they're usually talking about damage. When I play a monk, and this is just me, I'm not looking to do damage. I want to be unhittable. I want to be fast.
Yeah.
I want to not take any damage. I want to be 20th level and just not be touchable. And so like the Aarakocra monk that I was talking about, or the Tabaxi monk, and just leaning into that, getting the mobility feat and doing things that just make it so that you can't be hit. I find that super fun.
Yeah.
But it's probably OP.
Unkillability is of high value.
Mm-hmm. And then you get just enough charisma so that you can have an intimidation check so that when the dragon gets really pissed that they can't hit you and are going to move to someone else, you taunt them just enough to get their ego to still try to hit you.
I don't know enough mechanically to fully answer this question, but I'm going to go with that Way of the Astral Self Echo Knight we talked about, because if that does work, that is some anime BS, and we all know anime is OP.
But awesome.
Your argument's irrefutable. Yep.
All right. Well, I think that is a good place to end this show. Friends, where can people find you? What awesome things you're working on?
Oh, I'll go first. Hi, I am the content coordinator here at Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. You can find me on Twitter as Lauren. You can find me later today hosting the Sketching Hour, where two awesome artists do all kinds of awesome art, and I work with the chat in order to come up with backstories. And you should come on by, because every once in a while we do things like Sibriux riding a stork, and it's epic. You can also find me on Tuesdays in Children of Erte on the Demiplane Twitch channel. That's at 6 p.m. And on Fridays, I'm running Radiant Stories, which is a Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel campaign with a whole bunch of awesome people, and I do other things, and I love being here, and I love hanging out with the two of you, and I have had a lot of fun being the guest who has kept the seat warm for Erin M. Evans, who is the author of the Brimstone Angel saga, which includes 3 of your favorite characters, Frida, Havilar, and Mehen, and I need the book that is coming out.
The author of the upcoming Empire of Exiles, available now in pre-order from bookstores and Amazon everywhere.
Thank you.
B. Dave Walters. I'm the stunt Erin M. Evans. You can find me at Gen Con starting tomorrow. If you see a big mashed up giant person, say what's up. Also, Legends of the Multiverse on D&D Twitch and YouTube Wednesdays, Black Dice Society Thursdays, although tomorrow we are dark at 4 because we will be on at 1 p.m. Eastern for our Gen Con live show. Follow me on the Tweetagrams at B. Dave Walters.
Heck yeah. You can follow me on Twitter at the Treavor. There's an A hiding in there, and you can find me anywhere the Owls Champions community is, because I'm the community manager. That's where I'll be. Lauren, yes, thank you so much for sitting in for Erin for these last 2 episodes. You are always here in spirit because you're our producer, and always thank you for that.
Here.
Yes, but yeah, Erin will be back next week. But again, Lauren, thank you so much. These were a blast to record and talk about.
My pleasure.
That's gonna do it for this week's show. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode and whatnot, you can catch it later as a podcast, and if you missed any of it, you can catch it later as a podcast as well. Thank you so much to Jordan for moderating the chat, and Codename Entertainment for giving us a chance to have these conversations and have some fun, talk about some D&D. And if you have any suggestions for future topics, you can send those into Champions of Lore at codenameentertainment.com, or if that's too long, tweet them at us. Our schedule today is not normal. Let's see. We have a pretty large break until Sketching Hour at 3 with Lauren, and then New Game Plus after that. But yeah, if you want to see the rest of our schedule for the week, check out our socials, our Discord, and our Reddit, and you can find it all there. But that is going to do it for this week's episode. So until next week, Champions out.